Hello. I will walk through a workflow for creating a QuickSight dashboard based upon data that is hosted in an AWS RDS PostgreSQL database within a VPC. In advance, I have provisioned an AWS RDS PostgreSQL 16.1 instance, created an AWS QuickSight account, and configured an AWS QuickSight VPC connection. First, I will verify that my AWS RDS PostgreSQL database instance is available from the AWS console. So I'll proceed to go to the AWS console where you see that I have a database with the status of available. Next, I'll verify that data is present in the PostgreSQL database hosted in RDS. So I'll pull up my EC2 instance that I'm logged into. I'll log into the database and I will execute a query for the table that I'm going to bring into QuickSight, and I have data that is present inside the database. Next, I'll proceed to log into the AWS QuickSight console and verify that I have a VPC connection configured. So I'm currently logged into my AWS QuickSight console. I'll proceed to go to click on my user icon in the upper right hand corner, which will drop down a menu. Within this menu, you have a Manage QuickSight option, which is only available for admin users, which will take you to administrative settings for QuickSight. Towards the middle of the menu, there's a Manage VPC Connections, and I have a VPC connection currently already configured. This is the configuration option dialog box to set that VPC connection. So you'll need to provide a VPC connection name, select your VPC ID, execution role, subnets that are associated to the RDS or data source in your AWS account, and security group associated to the database. Now that I have verified that my VPC connection is present and configured, I will now proceed to configure an AWS data source that will be used to create the dataset. So I want to click on Dataset, and then in the upper right hand corner I want to choose New Dataset, and then I want to select from the new data sources RDS. I want to choose a data source name, instance ID associated to my RDS instance, connection type, so the VPC connection, which I verified in the last step. It's defaulted to the current database that I have configured for my RDS instance. and then I will provide the username and password for my database instance. I'll validate the connection. The connection is valid. I'll proceed to create the data source. Next, I will configure an AWS QuickSight dataset. So from my data source, I will create a dataset. So I will select the schema from my database, which is players, the table that I want to create visualizations from, which would be passing, and then I am going to choose select. Next, to complete the data set, you need to determine, do you want to store your table within the Spice QuickSight memory, or do you want to maintain a direct connection to your data source? I'm going to import my table into the Spice memory to provide better performance. Once I select visualize, it's going to take me into the QuickSight analysis page where we will create our visualizations. So I'm going to click on create to create a new sheet. Under the data section, you have your data set, which is the passing table that was imported into Spice memory. And below, you have the associated columns for that data set. In the next section, you have visuals. So in this section here, you would choose what type of visual chart or graph that you want to select for your visualization. For our purposes of this demonstration, I am going to select a horizontal bar chart. Next, I will select players and I will add players to the y-axis. And then for this first graph, I am going to choose passing yards, and I'm going to add it to the value or x-axis of the chart. So as you can see, I have my players on the y-axis and then my passing yards for my x-axis. I'll proceed to create another visualization. So I'll click add and I will choose horizontal bar chart, and I'll duplicate the same process as before, adding players to the y-axis. This time I will choose touchdowns. I will create 2 more charts, but while doing that, I'll pause this video to create those other charts. Okay, I've created all of my visualizations. So I have passing yards, touchdowns, 20 yards, 20 yards passing, and interceptions. Now what I would do is I will proceed to customize each chart. So for the first chart, the first thing I would want to do is I want to set the sheet name. Next, I'll set the chart title. Next, I want to get rid of this players label on the side. Then I want to change the title to get rid of this column name to have a custom name for this chart. And I have modified my chart. So I'll proceed to customize the other charts, and I will pause while I do that. Okay, I have completed customizing my 4 charts. So now I have my NFL passing leaders for 2023, NFL touchdown leaders for 2023, and NFL 20-yard completions for 2023, NFL interception leaders for 2023. One other customization I will make is that I will change the color for each chart. So I'll choose this. So now I have all of my customizations completed for my visualization charts that are currently on my sheet. So now I will proceed to create a dashboard from these visualizations I have created. So in the upper right hand corner, I will select Publish. I will provide a dashboard name. And I will publish the dashboard. So now we have a QuickSight dashboard. And that is the end of my presentation and demonstration. Before you, I have several references to um, complete what I have done today or to provide extra information. And thank you for watching.